This is a historic day for Bitcoin, and it marks a major turning point in the market cycle. We're going to be talking about targets that I have, as well as what we can expect in the coming weeks and months. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications, because we are bringing you the most timely and the juiciest Bitcoin updates here on YouTube. Bitcoin, guys, up 85% on the year. This is absolutely amazing, especially since in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we have been very, very bullish, really since around $16,300 back here in the end of December. And I've been publicly bullish on my YouTube channel, calling for higher and higher prices pretty much since the very beginning of January. And people said I was nuts. People said it was a moon boy, but here we are. And so the reason why this is so important right now, guys, is because we are coming up to a very, very key level. The value area low of the entire range that we've traded from the beginning of 2021 until our present day. Why is this so important? Because when we were analyzing the volume of an asset, this is telling us where were most people willing historically to buy and sell Bitcoin. Most people considered Bitcoin to be fair priced between the price of around $55K and around $30,000. So the fact that we are printing a blue candle, okay, or green if you use green candles, now above this level on the weekly time frame is actually making it possible now for much, much more upside. I'm talking about a lot more upside. And by the way, shout out to everybody in the Casper Crew VIP Discord who's literally been longing the whole way up with us. In fact, just recently catching like the most recent lows of this range right here. The setup was given in advance. Both of these trade setups and levels were given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP live stream. We actually gave the setup from 27.7 live, and then this level, of course, we gave in the Discord. Shout out to everyone who's making those juicy profits. And by the way, if you want to join the Casper Crew, you can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. It's not a signals group, guys. It's an educational group. And also, if you want to take advantage of 0% limit fees on ByBit, link in the description. If you deposit $100, not only do you get 0% limit fees on derivatives, which is a great deal if you know how to trade, but you get a month free of the Crypto Fusion trading bot. So if we can close a candle above this, I would say, you know, very, very key right here, around that 30,000. If we can close a weekly candle above 30,000, it opens up now, it's more probable than not, that once we establish the fact that we're trading back in this old fair value zone, that we will make our way to the top. So that means that my major targets are going to be these, okay? First of all, next major resistance is going to be this area right here at around 33,000. Why 33,000? Because it's a very crucial support resistance flip that we have from the low of January 2022 and then the high of May 2022. So it's a support resistance flip. So if we continue up from here, I do think it's very probable we'll find resistance between the support resistance flip and the 382 of the entire move. Now, keep in mind, when things are very, very bullish, we still do get pullbacks, right? We can go back to uptrends and notice that we get pullbacks. Sometimes they're pretty significant pullbacks. You know, in the bull markets, you know, we even get sometimes 40% pullbacks, which is absolutely crazy, but it has happened. Maybe it's not 40 actually. Let me see. What was the last major pullback here? It was about a 30% pullback in the middle of a massive bull trend, right? So that is normal to happen. So these are areas that we need to be prepared for. And then above that, of course, we have the high volume node of the range, golden pocket. We have the high of the range with the 786. These are going to be major targets that I have if we continue getting movement to the upside. And of course, we're not going to go straight up. We're going to have, you know, market structure is going to have highs, and then we're going to make higher lows along the way up. So this brings up another important question. Has the bull market started? What can we expect now, especially if we confirm a candle above 30K? Now, if we don't confirm the candle above 30K, this is still our resistance here, guys, and we need to be open to potential pullback from this level. But right now, the candle is looking very bullish. So has the bull market begun? Let's take a look historically at what Bitcoin has done during these times. Okay, I'm going to go to the all-time Bitcoin index on the monthly chart, and I want to point out a few very important things that we need to be aware of. All right, the white lines on the chart are the halving. The green line is where we are right now. Okay, the green line is 365 days before the halving. The white line is the halving, and I'm going all the way back to 2011. Now, one thing that I want to point out here is the fact that before the halving, it's very unlikely, in fact, never has happened, that we hit a new massive bull market all-time high. In fact, what tends to happen a year after the halving is we kind of maybe range a little bit for a while, and then kind of rally a little bit, nothing too crazy, into the halving, and then we have those massive gains, right? We saw that back in 2011. We saw that back in 2015, where we just kind of ranged a little bit, 365 days after the halving. We actually had a purple month after a few months of blue, then another little range before the halving happens, and then we blast off. We saw that again in 2019, where, you know, we got this big pump, 365 days before the halving, and then range with the double bottom, March 2020, and then once the halving happened, then boom, we actually blast off into the stratosphere. So right now we can see that we're about 365 days away from the halving. In fact, the halving is probably going to happen around April 2024. So just because things are looking very, very bullish, I do want to give a word of caution, which is this. Although I believe that the bottom is in because of all these macro signals that we've been looking at on the channel for a long time, I still do think that the bull market itself will not begin until the halving. We're not going to see new Bitcoin all-time highs until the halving. In the meantime, what we can look for is massive relief rally like what we had in 2019. People forget, in 2019, we actually had a $14,000 Bitcoin, right? It was actually closer to the all-time high of the bull market than we were to the low of the bear market. And so it just makes a lot of sense that if we're going to be ranging here and kind of coming up slightly, that we would be looking at these targets for basically places where we're going to find resistance. And so my game plan is basically when we find resistance and we get those pullbacks, I will actually be looking to accumulate a little bit more on spot. And of course, if we get a major pullback within the next year, I'll be looking to accumulate heavily on spot. So this is kind of what we have to look forward to. In my opinion, guys, of course, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. But I do pray that everybody is very, very blessed in the name of Jesus, the Messiah, even if you are not religious. That's it for today's video, guys, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Peace.